Everybody, we are getting ready to get started very soon. Yeah, Zach won't be on the live yet until he turns his camera on. So until he does that, then we won't be on the live. So we are excited for another episode. Stay with the Dewey. We're about to get started, y'all, in 5 minutes. 5 minutes, we're about to release the second episode. We're excited. Thank you guys for tuning in. Keep on tuning in. Let them comments flow. We're excited. We got an exciting topic that's going on. And we have something special going on for Mother's Day. So, guys, if you want to tune in, share this to your friends, share this to your family, share this to your cousins, whatever. Share it. What you got to say to us is there. Do-Rag Zay. Anything for us?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm hyped for episode 2. I'm already.
Yes, sir. So, guys, go ahead. We will get started in 4 minutes. We will be sharp. Started at 6 o'clock on the dot. Guys, soon.
Simmer, you're muted.
Thanks for that. We are going to give you guys one more minute. For those of you guys who want to tune in, we're giving you one more minute. And so we are excited for this podcast, episode 2. And so we are going to give you guys one more minute. I'm going to mute myself and then we'll be back at it. And then one more minute. All right, well, we are going to get started, guys. First and foremost, welcome back to another episode of the Johnson 5 Talk Show. Guys, we just finished our first episode and we're going to do a recap soon. Shout out to my girlfriend. She's watching. She can't listen to audio, but shout out to you. She just texted me. But in any case, we are excited for another episode. Episode 2, season 1. Episode 2. Real quick, I just want to say I got the drip on. Yeah, I do. Come on, we voting for the 76ers. They doing their thing. They are doing their thing. And so I just had to put on the merch. You know, I just had to put it on. I had to put it on because we are going to be doing some amazing and some big things, guys. The Eagles just went to the Super Bowl, even though we lost. You know, we probably made it all the way to the Super Bowl. And so we're hoping for the Sixers to go all the way to the NBA playoffs championship. And so a couple of things. First and foremost, we are down 2 brothers. Yeah, man down. Man down. Zay, man down. We down 2 brothers. Solomon, who could not be here, he decided to do a basketball tournament. And so he wanted to do the basketball tournament. And then Josiah was having a little bit of trouble with tuning in and going on. So that's okay. Again, that's fine. We try to do all of us, but sometimes our schedules can't do it, which is totally fine. But we have the right 2 that are here, including myself. And so we are excited. Solomon did want me to call him. So if you guys want to give me a second, I'll put him on speaker and call him. We're going to see if he picks up. He did want to say hi.
I do want to say we have a special guest who is unannounced. Let's give a shout out to Josiah, who is here. He will be joining me.
All right, Joe is here. So we just down 1. And this is the one. Say hi to live stream, bro.
Hello, people. I'm sorry, been a little busy and had a few tournaments I had to play in, but wish the best.
I just wanted to let you know there's some good news and some bad news. The good news is nobody misses you on the live. We just took a poll and all the people said they don't miss you. And then the second thing is the bad news is our numbers went up. For some reason, people found out that you wasn't coming. And so we have a lot more people who tune in. So I'm not sure, bro, but maybe you don't need to come or don't show up no more. Yeah, maybe you should stay on phone. Well, we appreciate you calling anyway, man. Good luck on your tournament. Hope you tear your ACL.
Appreciate it.
All right, man. All right. That's my twin bro. We got a good connection. I love that dude. But again, he wanted to do his basketball tournament, so we're wishing him good luck. A recap of last, I think it was what, 2 weeks ago. We want to do a recap of that. So if you missed the first episode, guys, you might as well just unsubscribe. Just unsubscribe now. We don't want you. We want faithful people who would come on and tune in. So if you missed the other episode, go ahead and watch that and then unsubscribe because we don't want you no more. But here's a video of what transpired on this second video. Real quick, shout out to my friend Joe. I think he's on here. He missed the first episode. So Joe, just unsubscribe. We don't want you no more. Yeah, we don't want you no more, dude. This talk show is to inspire the young people. It's to motivate and to inspire the youth.
It's here to inspire you, to help you, to motivate you, to talk to you, and to just enjoy and have fun with us. You know, that's why this podcast is all about. It's to enjoy, have fun, talk about ourselves.
We want you guys to introduce yourselves. So we're going to start from oldest to youngest.
My name is Anthony Johnson Jr. I am 23 years old. Relationship status, I am single, and I am not ready to mingle. Okay?
My name is Solomon Johnson. I go to Cookstown University, Pennsylvania, majoring in sport management and minoring in coaching.
I'm a junior at High Point University, majoring in sports management with a minor in civic responsibility and social innovation.
What's going on, guys? You already know who it is. My nickname is Zay or Zay. I am currently in a relationship.
My name is Josiah Johnson. I'm 11 years old, and I'm to my 20th football at school.
Come on, Joe, laugh.
That's that. We have two special guests.
God has pronounced from the beginning a blessing on this family. And there's nothing and no devil in hell that's going to stop that.
My favorite scripture, weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. I want you to be encouraged.
5 different stories in one talk show. Tell me that's not powerful. So we're excited about that. That was just a recap of the first episode. Again, if you want to go ahead and watch that, you can after this is finished. But that was just a little recap. And that was something special. We had both of our parents on. And so, guys, you need to watch that because that was definitely something special. Shout out real quick. And we'll just go around. If you guys have someone watching, you guys can shout it out. Shout out real quick to our parents, mom and dad. They are watching. Shout out to my dad who just preached. And my big bro, he was there to watch him preach, and he did an amazing job. I was watching on YouTube Live. He preached at Mount Airy, where he is the youth pastor, if you will. And so he did an awesome job, an amazing job. And then shout out to my mom, who just recently had an event. I think it was on Saturday, poetry, painting with poetry. And that was an awesome event. I was able to tune in for a little bit and watch what happened then, and that was a great event. So guys, again, both our parents are doing so great. They're doing great things, and we are excited for that. Shout out to my girlfriend. Shout out to my friend Joe, Austin, TJ, and all my other guys who are watching. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate you guys for supporting me. And yeah, if we want to go around, you guys can shout out anybody you would like. If you have any people, you know. Often, I know, Isaiah, you don't have no one supporting you, so we can skip you.
Well, I'll go real quick. Obviously, to our parents, we love you guys. To our family, aunts, uncles, nieces. Well, we don't have nieces. I mean, cousins. Love you guys. Obviously, to my crew, my fam, you know who you are. I'm not going to name names. I love you guys, and I thank you so much for all your support.
Jay.
Jay.
I'm gonna shout out this guy right here, my number one supporter. His name is Josiah Johnson. He's very faithful in watching this podcast. And yeah, I just want to shout out him.
Joe, you want to shout out anybody?
Anybody?
No.
Say hi,
Say
Joe.
hi to us.
Hi.
All right,
That's
so
great.
we are
So we're
excited. Shout out to Joe. He just texted me, that guy. Thank you, Joe, for that, because I completely forgot. I've been pretty busy. And so thank you. I had to change my name. I have my mom's name for those of you who were wondering. Yeah, this is my mom's Zoom. So appreciate you, Mom. We are going to move on because we have something special. Real quick, we are sponsored. This is the second time we have been sponsored by a grandfather of Grandpa Kiafasa. I love you, Grandpa. Thank you for sponsoring us. We appreciate you. So I just wanted to point that out. We are doing something special. I try to keep this as quick as possible. We are doing something special for Mother's Day, a special event. And so our show is taking place on Mother's Day, the 14th, which is very unique. And we are so excited for that. And so what we want to do for you all is we want to create a PowerPoint. What we're doing is we will create a PowerPoint for all the mothers. So if you would like your mother to be shouted out on that PowerPoint, please DM me at getbuckets_Sam. Again, if you would want your mother to be shout out on this podcast on the 14th on a presentation PowerPoint, please go ahead and send me a picture and let me know by DMing me on Instagram at getbuckets_Sam. We are also going to be highlighting entrepreneurs, specifically mothers who are entrepreneurs. We will be highlighting them on our Facebook page. And so we're excited about that. So again, if you know any mother who is an entrepreneur, or if your mother is an entrepreneur and you would want her to be highlighted on our Facebook page, you can go ahead and contact us, DM us on Facebook at the Johnson 5 Talk Show, or again, you can DM me on Instagram at getbuckets_Sam. Yes, Joe, I do get buckets. Don't get it twisted.
I was about to ask that. Little mistake he said. It's get no buckets_Sam. So make sure.
Well, come on. You want to put that out there? You want to put that out there? We don't got to go there, man.
Look, you can come to Roxborough anytime. You know where I'm at. You know how simple.
Well, everybody know who I am in Roxborough, so just ask somebody about me. Just ask somebody about me. And so we are also doing a contest. We are doing a contest for mothers. And so we will have 2 special mothers on our podcast on the 14th. So if you want your mother to be chosen to be on our podcast on the 14th, you will enter into this contest. We have partnered with companies, and so we are excited. We are going to show you the companies that we partner with, and there are more companies that we are partnering with. And so the instructions, I'll briefly say these instructions. I'll say these twice now, and then I send them at the end of the show. Again, all you have to do is like, comment, and subscribe to our previous video, which will be this video. So don't do it now. That's cheating. We don't want you to do it now. But after this video is finished, what I would do is upload this video. And then as soon as I upload that video, I want you guys to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you are subscribing. And then we want you to comment Mother's Day. So comment Mother's Day on that. And then go and follow one of us. If you're following us already, that's a plus. But go ahead and follow one of us and tag us on your story. I don't care what you say. You can say, go follow this person because he has an amazing podcast. I don't care what you say. Just make sure that you are tagging us. And there is a deadline. And so we'll let you know that deadline soon. So again, I will upload this video as soon as it is finished to our YouTube, and there will be specific instructions on that. So I'm not going to repeat myself until the end, but there will be specific instructions on that. Anthony, you had something to say?
Oh no, I was just gonna say, make sure you guys share the video as well. It's Facebook Live on your page, correct, Cameron?
Yes.
So his Facebook page is Sam Johnson. You can go to his page and make sure you share the video.
Yeah, make sure you guys share. Guys, I drink a lot of water. So if you can count the number of times I drink water, I would give you personally some money. I'm not going to tell you how much, brother don't got all that. Brothers don't got all that. But if I do drink a lot of water, so if you can count the amount of times I'm drinking water, I would give you something. And so, again, we have partnered with companies. And so we know that sometimes you don't have the finances necessary to purchase things for your mother. And so we have made it easy for you. And so we are going to share with you guys, our partners. We're going to go through it, and then I'm going to explain who they are and what they do. Okay, so I'm going to explain a little bit. I put audio in this, so I can't really put it full screen. But real quick, Wisdom is a great company. They are getting ready to launch, I think, in the summertime, sometime in June or July. And this company, the CEO, Kevin Berman, what Wisdom is a mentor matching platform for entrepreneurs and lifelong learners. So if you feel like you can be a mentor to a mentee, go ahead and apply to be a mentor. Or if you need some knowledge and some wisdom on certain things, go ahead and apply for a mentee. To be a mentee, you can sign up on www.wisdom.io. Again, if you have what it takes to be a mentor, go ahead and sign up, and go ahead and refer our name to Johnson 5, and you will be able to get something special, an Amazon card. And I'm not telling you how much, but it's pretty much. So if you guys want to, again, go ahead and sign up to be a mentor or a mentee at www.wisdom.io. Elena Rodriguez is the CEO and founder of Besitos Beauty. And so what we are doing, we partner with her, and what is going on is she is giving 25% off of your total. But again, there is a specific code that you have to use. So again, go ahead and follow our instructions on how to win the contest. Again, and you guys will be able to have 25% off of any order that you have. Of course, our auntie, shout out to you, Elisa Brown. She is the owner of God's Creative Hands Hair Salon. And guys, guess what? She gave us a deal of a lifetime. First 5, well, maybe not a lifetime, but we all know what we mean. First 5 new clients will have $20 off, and the next 5 new clients will have $10 off any hairstyle, $60 and up. Guys, this is a perfect gift for your mother. And last but not least, we have my mom, who is the CEO and founder of Riding Moves Me, and she is willing to give you free shirts and candles. So guys, we have partnered with so many companies, and there are companies that are coming. These are just 3, but there are more companies that are going to be coming. So guys, again, if you want to do something for your mother and something special, go ahead and DM me. And again, we'll give you those instructions later. And last but not least, Miss Rodriguez, again, she is going to give to the winners of the contest 2 free items of your choice. And so again, we are excited for this partnership. And again, we will give you instructions on how to do that. We are trying to help you guys get your mother something special. We know you might not be able to have the finances. So again, we want to do something special for you. I think that is it. I know this introduction was a little long, but guys, you know, we got a lot going on. And so we are going to get ready for a topic. Zay has a motivational speech, so stay until the end because he is going to motivate and inspire you towards the end. But we are going to get ready for our topic. And our topic for today is what it was like growing up being half Black, half Puerto Rican, and being a Christian. And guys, I'm not sure if you knew this, but we are half Puerto Rican. I know we look Black, I know I look all Black. They call me light skinned Sam, light skinned Sam. I know, but we are half Puerto Rican. And even though I can't speak it, I am half Puerto Rican. And I know these girls love it too, even though I do have a girlfriend. So back off. What you got? What was you going to say, Zach?
I know how to speak Spanish for the ladies. Hola, ¿cómo está? My name is Isaiah. Me amo. You're right. Me amo, amigo. My name is Sayas. For the señoritas out there, hit my way. I know where I'm at. For me. But we are, as my brother said, I'm Peak Bay. We are a half Puerto Rican. And I feel like this is a very good topic to speak about because, you feel me? It's rare to have half Puerto Ricans and Christians. Not a lot of people know, like, growing up how it is. So I feel like this is a really good topic. So stay tuned.
Yeah, and so we are going to just talk it out. And so whoever wants to go first, you guys can go first. But what it was like growing up, being a Christian, guys, because you don't understand how difficult it is. And I'm not saying it as a bad thing, but when you see your friends constantly doing something that you want to do, and you can't because it's wrong, that's how difficult it was. Even in college, trying to be set apart, trying to live a holy life for God is very difficult. And so we're going to chop it up and talk about that. And so, come on, big bro, what you got for us? Why not kick it off for us?
All right. Growing up half Black, half Puerto Rican. It definitely can be a struggle sometimes. We can jump right in. I know for me, speaking from my experiences, even in high school, one thing that Samuel said, we don't know Spanish. We do not know Spanish. Now, funny story is the reason why I don't know Spanish is because my mother says, as a young child, when I was a young child, she tried to teach me Spanish. And as she was teaching me, I would just laugh in her face. I thought it was a joke. So she stopped. So now I don't know Spanish. I mean, I could have learned, but, I didn't. I don't know why. I just didn't. But yeah. So I don't know Spanish. So because I don't know Spanish, sometimes in high school people say, oh, you're not really a true Puerto Rican because you can't speak Spanish. And it was funny, I laugh, I kiki, but it did kind of make me feel some type of way because I am half Puerto Rican, and just because I don't know how to speak Spanish does not mean that I'm not a true Puerto Rican. So that's one example. I mean, I can go on, but what I got to say.
No, that's definitely true. And I get that all the time. Oh, you don't know how to speak Spanish. You don't know how to speak Spanish, but you're Puerto Rican, and it's definitely something. And even with our history, even with the foods that we eat, is different. Growing up, and people's like, oh, all you eat is rice, and no, don't get it twisted. That rice be hidden. When we go to grandma's house, let me tell y'all something. That rice be hidden. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what nobody say. I go to grandma's house for rice and beans, and that's all I care about.
Talk.
Like for real, like real talk, like for real. Like grandma, like it's so good. But that has been a challenge, like, oh, all you eat is rice and beans. Well, I am half Black too, so I got some fried chicken there. I got some mac and cheese there. Like, I'm not just full Puerto Rican, but yeah, it's definitely been a challenge. But what you think, Zach?
Yeah, let me piggyback off that food because I got some stories with that food, man. So growing up, half Puerto Rican, half Black, as you know, with foods, as you said, all y'all eat is rice, chicken. It was hilarious, And I remember
I used to I used to get compared to Mexicans, and I hated it. My guts, and I hated it because it's a difference. A Mexican and a Puerto Rican is way different. And yeah, I feel like growing up being half black, half Puerto Rican comes with advantages and disadvantages. Advantages being, you know, we the sexiest people on earth. Nobody can get better than us, and that's why y'all hate us.
Come on.
But with the disadvantages comes stuff like that, like foods, stereotypes, and also I want to talk about growing up Christian. Also, a story comes with that. Also, I used to go to Anna Black Sunday School. That was my elementary school that I went to. Every day, man. And so I you know all the rappers back then. I never knew them. All right. I knew Hezekiah Walker, Ty Tribbett. Those was like gospel people that I knew. So I remember it was in art class, and I'm not gonna say no names. And if my friends, if you watching, y'all know this story. But I remember art class, they was talking about rappers and talking about upcoming songs. And I'm just sitting there and I'm drawing, minding my business because I have nothing to do with this. And they asked me, you know who this rapper is? I'm like, no. They start naming lists, rappers. I'm like, no. Laughing. Then I turned around because I was mad and I didn't know the rappers. And I wanted to flip the switch. And I said, you know Hezekiah Walker? And everybody started laughing. If you don't know who Hezekiah Walker is, he is a gospel singer who sung praise, a very popular gospel song. But I feel like that's a good story to tell. Being Christian, growing up Christian, as Samuel said, you don't experience a lot. You do have a lot of stories, but you don't experience the world, the worldly side, I would say, because you do experience the world, just not the worldly side. Some things that our friends do or some things that our peers do, we cannot do and we do not do. And I feel like, yeah.
And just one stereotype real quick, big bro. And then I'm gonna let you go and then I have something else to say. But one stereotype in regards to that is people think because we Christians, we can't have fun. That's a stereotype that really gets into my nerves because you know I have especially growing up like, oh Sam, you can't do that. Oh Sam, why are you going to a party? Like we understand that we're not perfect, right? And so we still want to enjoy things that life has to offer. Just because we Christians don't mean we can't go to a party. We can go to a party. Just because we Christians, I can't get this tattoo. Like I can't get from this, like even today, I have numbers, so I help my bishop, Bishop J. Lewis Felton. I help him a lot. And I love that bishop. And he's my guy. But to this day, I feel like I don't church people would judge me. And so I never wear short sleeve when I go to church. Never. I just never do because I'm not comfortable enough because I feel like they would say something and they'd be like, oh, why you got a tattoo? Oh, that's Elder Johnson's son. You're not supposed to be having tattoos. Where this tattoo wasn't because I was trying to be in the world, but it has a message behind it. See, when I get tattoos, I don't get tattoos because I want to be a part of the world. I get tattoos because it has a message behind it. And so it's just so, for me, it was so difficult because you have so many people like, you can't do that, Sam. Sam, why are you doing that? Oh, Sam not a Christian. He's not a weird Christian. Oh, Sam don't know God. Sam don't know God. And yeah, we understand we have to be different. Like, yes, we understand that challenge. And it's a challenge every single day. But at the end of the day, that doesn't mean that I'm less of a person. I'm the same person like you. I still want the same things like you. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead, big bro.
No, I was just gonna say, Piggy, like kind of tying in being a Christian and then growing up half black, half Puerto Rican. Another story that I have, and it's kind of similar to Isaiah's, is like in the black household, we would always watch. There's certain movies that every black household has watched, and I can't remember the movies right now, but growing up, we couldn't watch everything. Mm-hmm. Like our parents did not allow us to watch everything strictly gospel, like Isaiah was saying. I now to this day, I'm strictly gospel. I barely know R&B songs because we didn't grow up like that.
Mhm.
And so because I didn't watch the movies that are normal, quote unquote, normal black household watch, they would say, "Oh, you're not really black," because I didn't watch these certain movies. And it's like, why am I not really black? Because I didn't watch these certain movies, you know? So it's certain things that we can tie in, like being a Christian and also being mixed, that, you know, like I was saying, we just didn't do everything. Like I remember growing up, our father at dinner time, we would sit around that table and have Bible study every
Hours.
time,
Man,
after dinner, every time
It
for
was just one
hours.
story. One story. I know that you want to, I'm sorry to cut you off, big bro. One story. I don't know if my mom or dad know this to this day. And one thing I do though, when I look back, and I'm not that old, I'm only 21, but when I look back, I do appreciate our parents and what they did because they grounded us in the word of God. Like we could be in this
That is
world.
true.
We
That
could
is
be in
true.
this world big time. But because of our parents, they grounded us into having that relationship with God. And my relationship with God is much more grounded because of them. Like I could be out here in college acting crazy. You know that stereotype they have where Christians, as soon as they get out of that box that their parents put them in, like they go crazy. And there's a lot like I don't want to say the stereotype is true, but there's a lot of examples that we can see in the world that we see a lot of Christians who get addicted to drugs and addicted to sex because they've been in this bubble so much that their parents put them in, that when they, as soon as they get out of it, it's like, I got to experience this. But I got to give credit to my parents because they rooted me and grounded me. And in any case, so it's a story. So I don't know if my parents know this story or not, or remember this story. But we was younger. I don't know if you guys remember, but we was younger, and every Saturday we had family night. Every Saturday we would have family night. And so this particular Saturday, we was getting ready for family night, and my dad was said, "All right, we're going to have a Bible study." We usually have family nights like around 7:30, 8 o'clock, somewhere around there. And so it was, I want to say it was 7 o'clock, something around there. The food was ordered. We had the movie ready, and my dad wanted to do Bible study. We look at the time. It's like 8:30, 9 o'clock. My mom says there's no family night because it's too late. And I don't know about y'all if y'all remember, but we were pissed. Like we were so upset because my dad spent 2 hours teaching Bible study on family night. And I was, to this day, I would laugh at it because it was so frustrating because I'm like, this night is for family night. I'm looking forward to the movie. You know, what we used to do is we didn't even eat until the movie played. You remember that, Zay? Where we would hold our food, we would not eat, we would not touch the food until the movie started playing. The good old days. But in any case, and so it's 9 o'clock and we had to cancel family night. And I'm like, are you serious? Are you serious? Like, this is the one night a whole family can watch a movie together, and we couldn't do it. But just a funny story. Do you guys want to add anything else before I say something else?
Oh yeah, I definitely remember those. Definitely remember those. But to reiterate what you said, how that kept us grounded. Although we hated being at that table for hours upon hours, just listening to him teach. And I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I would doze off and then I'll come back and I'm like, I'm still here. I'm ready for bed now. But, you know, when I left and I went to college, those teachings and those times is what kept me, because like Samuel said, I could have went bananas. You know, that stereotype about preacher's kids. We are preacher's kids. Our grandmother was a pastor. And so, you know, that stereotype.
Grandpa was a
pastor. Grandfather, he was pastor as well. So we come from that line. So it's like, you know, that stereotype where you get out in the world and you just, like you said, go bananas. I didn't do that because of those very teachings that my father instilled, well, our father, I should say, instilled in us, and our mother instilled in us. Now, I'm not saying that I was perfect. I was not perfect, but I didn't go as crazy as I could have.
That's right. That's right. Zay, you had something to say?
It's on topic, but it's another yeah. So another thing about growing up Christian, I feel as though people would test you a lot. People would test you because I do want to say, being a Christian, yes, we follow rules. Yes, I feel as though it's about peace, right? But that doesn't mean push your buttons because you're Christians. People are still humans, right? And I feel as though being a Christian, people look at you like, oh, he's this, he's that, and I could push his buttons. I could say this to him, I could say that to him. But that's not how it goes, right? I don't know if y'all know, but our family is crazy. So family is very crazy.
Oh yeah, talk about it. I heard real quick. I have a story about that. I have my aunt Crystal. I'm not sure if she's on. Shout her out real quick. And so I had a girlfriend at the time. This was like 5 years ago. I had a girlfriend. I was introducing my girlfriend to her, and Aunt Crystal goes, "Break his heart, and I'm going to kill you." Like this is the first meeting. This is literally the first meeting that Aunt Crystal is meeting my girlfriend, and she goes, "You break his heart, I'm going to kill you." And I just was like, that's when I knew my family's crazy. Like my whole family, I just knew that was crazy. But go ahead, Zay.
No, yeah, that was pretty much it. I feel as though Christians get looked down upon as we're punks, but when push comes to shove, we're going to shove back.
Yeah.
Now, I must say this. Like I think we said on the first episode, Isaiah's the crazy one. But as we continue to grow and we mature, and we actually just talked about this, I believe it was early this Sunday, that as you grow and mature, and as Christians, we will learn how to, as scripture says, turn the other cheek. We will still love and not just go buck wild. Now that doesn't mean that you're going to walk on us all over us, but as we begin to mature, and that's something that I am learning, as the days go on, how to be more like Christ. How, yes, we grew up in a strict household, and sometimes because now we are exposed to the world, we want to experience things, we want to live our life, because the church was really our life growing up. But when you have the Holy Ghost and you are becoming older and you're becoming more mature, and that's something that as y'all get older, y'all will see that the Holy Ghost will begin to teach you that, yes, we grew up in church, and yes, we do want to experience life, but yes, there are still things that you cannot do. So that's one thing that I am still learning. And the Lord is really still teaching me that, as being Christian, there are just certain things we can't do. Like, it's plain and simple. And one of those things, as Isaiah was saying, is kind of going off for someone. It can be as simple as that. The Holy Ghost will teach us how to bridle our tongue, because as Christians, we still have a standard to uphold.
Yeah, and that's so true. And real quick before I say my thing, Joe, tell us hi.
Hi.
All right, Joe, come to the camera. I'm about to put you on blast. I want you to teach us a TikTok move real quick. Just real quick, something very simple. Come on, man. Come on, you're not doing nothing anyways. Don't waste time. Come on, teach the audience a TikTok dance. Guys, for those of you who don't know, Joe has a TikTok, and all he does is TikTok dances. And so he's going to teach us a little something. something small, Joe. You don't got to be huge, big.
Get sturdy.
Get sturdy. Get sturdy.
Y'all do it on camera. Hold on, move out the way. You about to turn up. Let me see it.
Turn up, Joe. Turn up.
Joe,
Turn up for the one time.
Joe,
One time.
Joe. Hey, hey. He turned up, y'all.
It's so funny, but like you were saying, babe, bro, and it's so important is because you know we are hold to a standard. The Bible says, before you were born, I set you apart. So before we were even born, God already set us apart and chosen us to be different. And that's still something that I'm learning because it's not easy, especially up here in college, y'all. Y'all, I'm in college. Let me tell y'all something. It's not easy trying to be different. It's not easy. One thing that I think God has given me is the gift of patience and being patient with other people. And like y'all was saying, a lot of people try to walk all over me, right? You know, and I sometimes I let it slide. I let it slide because God, I'm patient, and you know, but you know, there's the famous saying, "Don't let my rope choke you," or "Don't let the whatever it is, don't let it choke you." And so, one thing that God has given me is the ability to be patient, but it's so hard to be patient when people constantly are walking on you because they know, oh, you're a Christian. You're supposed to be this. You're not supposed to act up. You're not supposed to cuss. You're not supposed to fight. You're not supposed to do this and that. And I'm not saying I cuss. Don't take my words wrong because that's not what I do. I never have I ever cussed in 21 years of my life, and that's something I can say that I'm proud of. I'm very proud of that because not once have I cursed or cursed, and so I'm proud of that. But yeah, and it's just crazy to think about that, and it's just yeah, it's just pretty insane. And one thing I wanted to say, and I wrote it down somewhere here. Um, one thing I wanted to say is, I don't know about you guys, but do you guys remember when you had to take the benchmarks or exams or tests, do those standardized testing? And one thing I always come is I always had trouble, especially when I was younger, when they say, okay, pick your ethnicity, right? Black, African American, and you had to choose one. And then they had Puerto Rican and Hispanic. I always struggle with which one to choose. That I don't know about y'all, but that for me was something like, what do I choose? Especially on job applications when they say choose one. You're supposed to choose one. And I'm like, well, I'm not just one. Like I'm half Puerto Rican and I'm half Black. So I can't just choose one. And so even with job applications, like I said, I've been applying for jobs and they're like, choose one, choose one. And when I go to choose Hispanic or Puerto Rican and then go choose Black or African American, I can't because I can only choose one. That in itself, for me growing up, was a huge struggle. Huge.
Yeah, it definitely was. And for me, even for me, it felt like I was betraying the other. Like if I pick Black, I'm betraying my Puerto Rican side. If I pick Puerto Rican, I'm like betraying my Black side because, like you said, I'm not just one, I'm both. Right. But I wanted to share a quick funny story. How you were talking about patience. And we thank God for patience because one thing I do not have it. Well, I'm not going to say I don't have it, but my patience is low. And the Lord is surely, but He is working on me. So a funny story, we were in Mount Airy Church of God in Christ, and they were having a basketball tournament. And one thing about me, we was taught to respect our elders. But y'all know me. Don't disrespect me. You can be my elder, but still give me respect like I give you respect. So they were playing the basketball game. It was the kids versus the adults. And I was the one doing the scorekeeping. And so the adults had made a score. And I guess I missed the score. And so I forgot to, give them a score because I missed it. And so one of the adults got so mad and they start yelling at me. And this is in front of everybody. So they start yelling at me like, yo, give me my score. And so I got mad. And I was like, well, how about you come over here and do it? And I'm like, and afterwards, my mom came to me and was like, you need to go apologize. I'm like, I'm not apologizing to him. You did not just see him come over to me and start yelling. You're not about to yell at me. Like, what you thought this was? And my mom was like, go apologize. I'm like, I'm not apologizing because you're not about to sit up here and yell at me when I just missed the thing. Like, I just missed the bucket. It's not even a real game. You're not playing for money. This is a game at the church. But yeah, that's just something that, even growing up, even with being categorized as the Johnson Five, like we always had to watch what we do, watch what we say, because my parents will always have stories about somebody coming to them and saying, oh yeah, I saw your sons and they was doing this, that, and the third. Oh yeah, I saw your son down here. He was doing this, that, and the third. And I'm like, thank God we wasn't doing nothing bad, because if they saw us doing something bad and they told our parents, we would have got whooped, and that would have been a whole situation. But even, growing up and being categorized as a Johnson Five was like, we always had to watch what we say, because someone is literally always watching. Every Sunday, my dad would have a story about someone coming to them, and it got on my nerves. I don't know about y'all, but it got on my nerves, because it's like, why y'all always watching us? Like, watch somebody else.
Yeah, that's so true. And one thing you said is so true, is because my parents, growing up, first off, growing up, and I'm not ashamed to tell it, but growing up, they beat us. Okay, but let's be honest here. Our parents whooped us, and they did not care where you was. They brought their whips to church. You want to act up in church? There's a bathroom downstairs. Tell me I'm lying. I ain't lying.
That was mom. But I never got whooped because I was a good kid. That's one thing I would say. I was good. Y'all, I mean, we may have argued, but I never let our parents see that. So I never got whooped. But y'all, it was hilarious. I remember Solomon got punched in his mouth one time.
I mean,
for saying something smart.
Punch, right? Like, I was there. We was at the park. And then we go and let you talk, Zay, because I know you got something to say. And then Joe could tell us about how he been whipped. I'm sure he just was whipped yesterday, Joe. Funny story with Joe. Joe is so funny when he gets whipped. Like, it's so funny. I'm not going to embarrass you, Joe. It is so funny because he gets so upset, and he's like, leave me alone. And he doesn't talk to nobody. Like, he doesn't talk to nobody for like a couple of hours. But in any case, and so we was at the park with our friends, and Solomon said something smart to her mom. And the mom was, at the time, she was coaching us, and we was playing 5-on-5 whatnot. And Solomon said something smart to my mom. And my mom said, come over here. What did you say? And Solomon was like, I didn't say nothing. And I don't know what happened. But then I look back, and Solomon bleeding. And I'm like, huh? Solomon was all right. His lip bleeding. He spitting blood coming out his mouth. I'm like, what happened? My mom punched him in front of everybody in the face because Solomon disrespected her. And she punched him in front of all our friends. Blood coming out of his mouth. His lip is literally bleeding.
She would take the whip to the grocery stores.
I mean, she would take it everywhere. Like, bro, everywhere. It was crazy. Go ahead, Zay. I know you had something to say.
I don't know if y'all remember this. This is one of the stories I remember of us all getting in trouble as a group, as all the brothers. I remember one of us, and we still don't know to this day, but one of us lost my mom's ring. And she came home, was looking for it, and she called us all in, and she was like, "Where is my ring?" And nobody knew. Nobody fussed up, and she took us one by one and whooped all of us. And I remember that from my perspective, because I was so heated at y'all. Because I know I didn't do it. And I was like, one of y'all took the ring and just got all of us beat. And it hurt. And a side story to that, I don't know if y'all used to do this, but so getting whooped, sometimes like you would have to pull your pants down to get the skin. Sometimes when you didn't, I would put on layers. So if I know I was about to get whooped, I'll put on like 2 extra pairs of shirts, then put on some sweatpants, you feel me? Get all the good spots covered, just so that when
But
I
it
get
still didn't matter though.
it didn't, man. My one thing about my mom, she has a strong hand. When she whoops, she makes sure you feel it. She makes sure that you feels it. One more story. I remember I lost the remote and I could not find it. And she told me put my hand out. This is just typical. And she took a ruler, smack dab on my hand. And I had to go find that remote. And yeah, my hand was hurting like crazy, man. I tell you. One more story, and then I'm gonna stop. I used to get whooped a lot. I was like crazy child. But now this one was really crazy. I don't know what was going through my head. But I remember I rented a movie from the library. Mom, I don't know if you remember this either. But I remember I rented a movie from the library for like 3 days. And it was Ice Age, actually. And I lost the CD. Now remember, we have to return this movie to the library, and I sat here and I lost the CD. So she calls me. She says, "All right, I have to give the back. So you give me the disc." I'm like, "Okay." I give her the case, but with no disc in it. She goes to the library. She checks it out. They tell her it's no CD in here. She calls, "Where the CD at?" I'm telling her I lost it. She's screaming on the phone, "When I get there, you better have the CD." So I'm panicking like crazy. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, man, I'm about to get whooped." So I put a different Ice Age movie in the CD, thinking I'm a slide. I don't know if y'all know, it's like 7 Ice Age movies out there. So I put a different one. She opens it, just reads Ice Age. She's like, "Okay." Takes it to the library. They charge her now. I forget how much it was, but they charge her for a late fee and for fraud because it was the wrong Ice Age movie. She came home straight right when she got home. Put your pants down. Boom. I was getting whooped for crazy. I would never forget that day. Craziest day ever.
That's so true. And that was a little bit more lenient on that. But even when dad says he's gonna beat you, you really pissed him off. Like you really, that's when you know dad was really upset because dad doesn't really beat us. He didn't really beat us. Mom was the one, but he did beat us on occasions when you really pissed him off. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He would get that belt out and he'd say, "Turn around." Um, but no, that's that's funny stories, and we can go on and on with this. Literally, we can go on and on with these stories. But that's just people, and that's one thing that I always say. Going back to people judging us, people don't. First off, they don't really know us, right? I think part of why I'm so quiet was because I was so sheltered in a sense to church, right? And I don't want to say it was a big reason, but I think when I look back, why am I so quiet? Why am I so quiet? Well, part of it is because I just like being to myself, y'all. Sometimes people annoy me. And when you go around with people who annoy you too much, you just like, yeah, goodbye. And so sometimes I'm just that person where I just love being by myself. But then sometimes, I can't be outgoing because, I was so like, church was our life. And that was it. We didn't have nothing else. We didn't really we had hockey, we had sports and stuff, but mainly it was church. And so, coming up here in college and, it's just sometimes I feel like sometimes that held me back from communicating a little bit to people because I'm so quiet. And then another thing is people they don't really know us like that. Like you guys don't really, I wouldn't say you don't know us. Like I love doing this podcast. And one thing about the podcast is it allows us to show people our personalities. Like I'm goofy. Like I love talking. Like I have so many personalities that sometimes, even to this day, some of my friends here at HPU or some of my friends back home don't know that. Right? They don't know who I am. They don't really know my personality. And so, like, I think this is great that we do this podcast. But Big Bro, you had
And then,
something to add?
oh yeah, just about people not knowing us. Like they will always categorize us as the Johnson Five.
Yeah.
You know, I guarantee you they don't even know our first name.
Mhm.
Like they don't know that you're Samuel. They don't know that you're Isaiah. They don't know that I'm Anthony Jr. They just categorize us as the Johnson Five. And one thing I used to do, I don't know if y'all did this, but because we were in church a lot, I learned church. So, and because people were watching us so much, and I knew that every single time we would go to church, somebody would always have something to say, I learned how to put on a facade. Like there was times where I would go to church and I would literally just want to cry. But I know people are watching, so I have to suppress that and smile and laugh, even though I really don't feel like it. I really want to cry, or I'm really angry and I really want to cuss this person out or say something back to this person. Mm-hmm. But because I know that everybody's watching, it's the Johnson Five, the Johnson family, everybody loves us, I learned how to put on a facade. And so we often hear, you know, when preachers preach, you know, we learn church. I learned church. I knew when to stand. I knew when to clap. I knew when to smile. I knew how to conduct myself in church. But I really didn't have a real connection or relationship with God. Because, and I think, and this is personal, I don't know if y'all ever experienced this, but that is one of the downfalls about, you know, being well known. Is personally for me, because I learned church instead of learning how to have a relationship with God. But I can say now that going to college, for me personally, and I know time is running late, so I'm gonna be real quick, but going to college was really an eye-opener for me. When I left and I really got on my own and I was able to make choices on my own, that's when my relationship with God began to really develop, because now I have the choice to go to church. I have the choice to stay home. And so that's really where my relationship with God really began to develop. And I really began to see God in a whole different light. And now, you know, now that's why sometimes I tell people, like, when I go to church, yes, I still conduct myself because people are still watching. But at the same time, I really don't care what you have to say, because for many years, I had put on a facade and I just went to church and suppressed who I was, how I felt, so people could have a good image of me. But now it's like, yes, I will still portray that image because, like I said, we are still Christians. We still have a standard to uphold. But at the same time, I'm going to be myself. And if you don't like it, I don't care.
Zay, you had something?
I was just going to agree with him saying that having somebody that you come under, as in the Johnsons, we came under our dad and our mom. They set a very high authority and standard in the church, which made us the Johnson Five. To flip it also, Samuel and Solomon, the twins, set a high standpoint in Roxborough. And I get this a lot. I get called the Johnson or Samuel brother, Solomon brother. And I feel as though things like that can really mess somebody up, because you are your own person, right? I get a lot of backlash in Roxborough saying, oh, you're nothing like Samuel, you're nothing like Solomon. And I 100% agree. And I take that to applaud, because I am my own person. And I feel as though even in the church too, like people say, oh, the Johnsons do this, the Johnsons do that. But within the Johnsons, there is Samuel, there is Solomon, there is Anthony, Isaiah, and Josiah. And each 5 of us have different personalities and different ways we handle things, different things we do, different career paths we're going to. We're all different. So I feel like just being named the Johnson 5 puts us under the category that we are the same, and we are not.
Yeah, and we're gonna go on for a little bit more. I think I'm gonna end this around 7:15. Guys, we're trying to figure out because we have so many good discussions, and so we want to see what time looks like. Because we have so much discussions, an hour may not be it. And so for this discussion, we're gonna go to 7:15. So if you guys do have somewhere to go, we appreciate you guys so much for tuning in, but we will go around 7:15.
Real quick, if you guys do have questions for us to answer, you know, comment them real quick so we can answer them within like the next 5-10 minutes. So if you do have questions, drop it in real quick so we can see it, we can answer it, and then we can get out your way.
Yeah, and so if you guys have questions, go ahead and comment that. Towards the end, I'll look at some of the comments and then I'll, you know, respond to some of those and so say those out loud. But one thing about what you were saying, Zay, and for me, one thing that hurt me a lot growing up is because I always wanted to be a preacher and I always wanted a preacher silent. Like God knew I wasn't ready. Like I wanted to preach. I have preaching assignments, but I think now God has developed me to be a teacher. And like, because I'm such a good teacher, like I'm able to preach the word, like preach the word. Like the way I preach is much different than the way Big Bro preaches and the way Solomon preaches. And so I've realized that God was telling me to just wait because there's something I have inside of you, but it needs to be built first. And so I was so anxious and so excited that I want to preach that, I want to preach that, I want to preach. When Anthony started preaching and when Solomon started preaching, people tend to push me to the side. That's one thing that hurt me because we will be going to Mount Olive or go to Mount Airy. Oh, there go the preacher Anthony. There go the preacher Solomon. And they would just left me and Isaiah to the side. Literally, we would be on the side and these people would come to Anthony and Solomon like, oh, we love you. We want you to preach. When's your next preaching engagement? And I'm be like, well, I'm right here. Just because I haven't preached doesn't mean I don't have something inside of me. So why are you not talking to me? Just because I haven't had an opportunity to showcase my talents that God given me doesn't mean I can't preach. And that's kind of how it felt. People would push me to the side and be like, push me, and like, oh, he's not a preacher because he hasn't had his opportunity yet. And it hurt me. Like there's been nights and I remember talking to my grandpa about it. And I'm like, Grandpa, like I'm tired of people hurting me. I'm tired of being pushed to the side. Like I have something inside of me, but I haven't been given an opportunity. But because my brothers have, now all these people are favoring my brother. And he's like, oh, he's great. Even with me and Solomon being twins, Solomon had so many preaching engagements and he's still preaching. And I haven't had a preaching engagement in forever. And that's and you have people who are like, oh, we love Solomon, we want him to preach. You know, it was this one day, and no shade to you, Dad. This is no shade to you. But it was this one day where we was at Bishop, we was shaking Bishop's hand, and we're like, hey Bishop, we're shaking his hand, and Bishop was like, look, we got to put on a youth on fire night, and I want you two to be the preachers. And I was like, oh, thank you, God, I'm about to preach. My dad was the youth pastor there is. And again, no shade to you, Dad. And then, you know, the youth from Fire was coming and he was putting it together. And he's like, okay, these are the speakers. Solomon, boom, 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 boom. And I was just left out. And I felt I had so much pain. And it's not my dad's fault. I'm not saying that. But I had so much pain because that's what was happening. That was the trend. Sam is on the side, Isaiah's on the side. Like they can't preach. They haven't been given the opportunity. And so now you have Anthony and Solomon. And they're people are like, oh, they're mighty preachers. And so it even to this day, I think about it, it's like, wow. Like it really hurt me to see that.
And to go off what you were saying, for real, it was really Solomon. And I always say Solomon is the preacher of the family because he was the first one out of all of us to begin to start preaching. And I didn't start preaching to years later before Solomon started. So even in what you're saying, I kind of felt the same way because it's like, all right, I know that I am called. I know that there is stuff within me, but Solomon has now bloomed before us, and everybody is just Solomon, 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 Solomon. And don't get me wrong, Solomon is a great preacher. I mean, every time he preaches, I'm very proud of him. But, you know, the neglect that there are still 4 brothers that still have gifts inside of them. God has called each of them. When is it going to be our turn? And I really struggled with that. I would tell God, like, when is it going to be my turn? Like, when is it going to be my turn? So I definitely agree and can attest to what, you know, you're saying. And what I wanted to say a little earlier is that each of us, if you notice and you really think about it, each of us have gifts within our bloodline. So, for example, like Samuel, you mentioned your gift is teaching. Dad is the teacher. You know, oftentimes God will use me to give a prophetic word. Grandpa operates in the prophetic. So all our gifts kind of have, you know, gone through the bloodline, and it's kind of switching to a whole nother topic a little bit. It's interesting to see that. And I know even with Dad and him preaching, I will always say, when I get older, I want to preach like that, because Dad, every single time, preach under the anointing. Every single, it didn't matter how nervous he was. It didn't matter if he didn't want to. I mean, every single time he would preach under the anointing. And I will always say, every time when I get older and I start preaching, I want to be like that. And now that I'm getting older and I'm starting to preach and even I'm starting to talk, I'll say in my head, I sound like that. Like I sound like when I start saying stuff, I sound like him. So, you know, I kind of twisted and I went another way a little bit, but I just wanted to say that.
That's so powerful. And even with the gift of singing, Big Bro, which you have, I wish I had. And maybe I do. I don't know. You don't want to hear me sing, but maybe I do. But Zay, did you have anything else before I say something? Okay.
And even real quick, even with singing, this is what I low-key wish. I low-key all of us could sing. I mean, I'm really this singer. Solomon, no. Samuel, no. Isaiah, no. I don't know about Josiah yet. But yeah, I'm really the singer out of all of us. But sometimes I wish we could all sing and we could be like the Clark sisters or the Pace sisters. And that was one of my dreams. I'm like, man, I wish we could all sing so we can all harmonize and we could all sing. But you know, I mean, we can go another way. I sing. Samuel used to play the organ. Isaiah plays the drums. We don't know what Josiah does yet because he's always on TikTok. But we're gonna see.
Yeah, definitely gotta see that. And I'm gonna close out with this story, and then Isaiah, we're gonna get to you. But again, going off my grandfather, and God has blessed us with some great grandparents. Some like, and just parents in general as well. Like I would have never thought that I would be able to seek advice from my grandfather like that. Not just because, oh, he's my grandfather, but because, you know, a lot of people don't be like, oh, let me go to my grandfather. And I have been able to go to him on multiple occasions and just seek advice and ask him, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? Even when certain things within my relationship that may not seem right, and may, you know, I may be upset with something, I'll go to him and I'm like, hey, Grandpa, what you think about this? And I'm just glad that I'm able to do that. And the same with grandma, and able to have that connection, because we have a deep connection. And I think part of why we're so tight as brothers is because we see our mom and her sister and her brother and how tight they are. And because they are so tight, we are so tight and we click. And I think that's one thing that is a blessing to see. But in any case, and so, I went to him for advice on this one thing when I was just being pushed to the side. And one thing he blessed me with was he said, God's got your back. That's one thing. And he said, you put this, write this down. God's got your back. And so I believe, Grandpa, that is going to be a sermon soon. That will be a sermon soon. God's got your back. But just to say this story real quick, I don't know if you guys heard of King Richard, but if you watch the movie, it's a popular movie. And it's a great movie, and it's with the Williams sisters, and it tells about their story. And God blessed me with this. And so I'm watching the story, and it was at the time where I was being pushed to the side and stuff. And so just to give you like a little bit about it, Venus was started early. She was famous early. She was in her fame very early, more earlier than Serena. And so Serena had to sit back and watch Venus, right? Watch Venus become like a great tennis player at a young age. She had her first deal, I think it was 14 or 15. She had first deal with, I want to say Reebok, if I remember, or one of those. I know Adidas wanted her, and then she did a deal with Reebok, one of those. But in any case, Serena was there and just watching. And she's waiting for her turn. She's waiting for her opportunity, but her opportunity wasn't coming. At the end of the movie, it said that Serena, even though she waited, she became the greatest tennis player of all time. And so Venus started earlier, but Serena became the greatest tennis player of all time. And so God was just telling me that you just have to wait, because I have something for you. You just gotta wait. I got your back. You just gotta wait. And so that little video blessed me. Go ahead, Zed.
That ties to a scripture also in the Bible that says the first shall be last and the last shall be first. And that's why I feel like patience is very key. And you just have to be patient and you have to be consistent. Because with patience and consistency, you will eventually see the outcome of it. Maybe not in that time, but eventually you will see the outcome.
And real quick, as the oldest, I've seen it all. So as the oldest, one of my prayers and heart's desire is for my four brothers to surpass me, to surpass where I have went, naturally and spiritually. Like a parent wants to see their child succeed past them. And I've never really said this. This is really the first time that I'm saying this. Is the first time y'all are hearing this, that one of my prayers is, I want y'all to pass me naturally, pass me spiritually. And as we grow up, for me, it's so encouraging to see how God is truly working on your lives. And I'll say for Samuel, you went live with Mom. What was that? Last Monday? This past Monday?
Yeah, last Monday.
And you posted a clip of what you had said. And I began to watch it, and you begin to talk and you begin to share what God had given you. And real quick, he was talking about, he had asked God a question. I think it was like, how fast can you turn the situation around? And he was in the bathroom, and the mirror was foggy. And he opened the door. He turned his head down to brush his teeth, and when he looked up, the mirror was clear. And God spoke to him and said, "That's how fast I will turn the situation around." I began to watch that, and tears began to fill my eyes, because it's like that prayer that I want God to use y'all in a way that even is greater than me. It's like that really, I almost cried, because it was like I'm watching as God is using y'all in your own way. Each of us is different, but God is using you in your own way. And to just see that, it was like I was very proud. I was very proud because it's like, and that's one of the things that I noticed. And one thing about me, I notice a lot. I don't say much, but that's one of the things I noticed about you, Samuel. It's like, Solomon, 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 Solomon. Well, what about Samuel? And now I'm beginning to see how God is shifting you into your calling and shifting you into encourage people, shifting you to give words of encouragement. Like even, I don't know if he has shared this, Samuel now runs a Bible study, youth Bible study, every single Saturday. Doesn't miss a Saturday. And it's like, just to see God watch, just to see how God is working in your lives, it just blesses me. And quick story about Isaiah, I remember I had to preach, and the Lord had me to go to him and, lay hands on him. And that boy began to jump up and down. I don't know if you remember this, but he began to jump up and down, raising his hands. And I just looked and I'm like, what? He has never done this ever. I have never seen him praise God how he just praised God. So it's just so encouraging to see how God is really working in your lives.
Yeah, I appreciate that, big bro. And yeah, it's crazy. We have definitely been favored by God just to see the opportunities that he lays on our hearts and the opportunities that he gives us to open doors. It's just crazy. Even with you, Joe, even with you. Well, we are going to get ready to close it out. Guys, I want to start giving you encouraging messages towards the end of the videos because this is what this podcast is about, to encourage you. And so we have a motivational speaker who speaks all the time. And so if you want a motivational speaker, go ahead and book him. You can go follow his Instagram. I don't know his Instagram by heart, but he can give it to you and you can DM him. But we are going to hear from our brother, little bro Zay, do-rag Zay, and we're going to hear from him and see what motivation he has for us.
So my Instagram is little sturdy Zay. It's little as in LIL_sturdy.Zay. ZAH. But a little motivation I want to give out, which ties to us talking, is us being enclosed. And I always like to do demonstrations when I talk motivation because I am a hands-on learner. So I take this water bottle and this is us. And twisting it, we get all the pressure built up in the top. We hide it all in ourselves. That pressure is a lot. As you can see, I keep twisting and now I can't even squeeze it. Can't squeeze the water bottle because of all that pressure inside of us. And eventually, if you hold all that pressure in and we twist the cap off, it pops and you let off all that steam. And that was just a little quick thing I want to show y'all as to why it's good to have somebody to talk to. It's good to have somebody to talk to motivate you, to uplift you. And just as Samuel said, how he spoke to our grandpa, it's always good to have somebody to talk to because bottling all that up, you already seen the reaction that happens. Eventually, you will explode. Somebody told me that before. I'm a person that is very enclosed. I don't talk to a lot of people. And somebody gave me that words of advice that said, I am a ticking time bomb. Eventually, if I do not talk to people, I will explode. And I 100% understood that. And that helped me. And I just wanted to help y'all too with those words of advice.
Great words of wisdom, Zay. We appreciate that. That's very powerful. Guys, go seek somebody. We are here, right? We are here to, if you need some advice, we have Big Bro who's here, we have me, Solomon, Zay, if you guys need someone to talk to, because that's the whole purpose of this podcast. It's not necessarily about us getting famous. It's not necessarily about us, getting all this fame and stuff, but it's helping you guys and trying to make sure that you guys are okay because we know what it's like to be a youth, right? We have so many pastors who say, "Oh, you guys need to start doing this and all that other stuff." But 20 years ago, you was a young person, right? We're young now, and so we understand your struggles and we understand the pain, and so we want to help you guys out. So if you ever want to DM me, go ahead. My Instagram is at getbuckets_Sam. If you just want to talk or chop it up, go ahead. You have Anthony. His is Anthony Loyalty. I'm not sure if there's any underscores or stuff. Is that fine?
I think it's actually Anthony_loyalty. But don't DM me with foolishness because you will get blocked.
Anthony with underscore loyalty. And then Solomon is something like solo.1, whatever that is. And then you have Isaiah, who is little sturdy, ZAHZ. So go ahead and contact us for anything. Well, we are going to wrap it up. Again, to our audience, thank you guys so much for coming on. We had so many comments. Appreciate my friends as always. We always want to shout you guys out. Appreciate my friends, Joe, Austin, TJ, all my guys who were able to support me, all Anthony's people, all my family, all our family and friends, Zay's people, and especially to our parents and our grandparents. We love you guys so much, and we appreciate you guys so much for being able to help us and being able to support us. Again, this episode was sponsored by our grandfather. And grandfather, again, we appreciate you. One thing he told me is as long as he is alive, he would do everything he can to support us. And so I appreciate those words. You don't understand how impactful those words were, Grandpa, but I just want to say I appreciate those words. Again, guys, I'm gonna make this as quick as possible. We are doing so much for Mother's Day. Our next episode is going to be on the 14th, and that is on Mother's Day. And we are going to have our own mother who is going to be here. I'm so excited. I love Mom. You know, I love Mom and I appreciate her so much. And we are excited to talk about her and for all her boys to talk about her and highlight her on that day. We will be creating a PowerPoint for Mother's Day. So if you want your mother on that PowerPoint, go ahead and DM me at getbuckets_Sam. If you want her to be highlighted, we are also highlighting mothers who are entrepreneurs on our Facebook page at the Johnson 5 Talk Show. So if you want your mother to be showcased and highlighted on our page, again, you can DM me on at getbuckets_Sam, or you can DM us on Facebook at the Johnson 5 Talk Show. Again, we have partnered with a bunch of companies to help make Mother's Day easy and simple for you. Go ahead and DM us for more information on that if you want more information. We are trying to help you out and trying to do everything that we can to make your life easier. The coupons, the codes, well, I'll let you guys know the codes later. You guys, again, DM me for more information on that. And in response to the contest that we are doing, again, you guys have to wait to the end. This specific video that we went live will be uploaded on YouTube in about 10 minutes, 10 minutes or so. And so what we want you guys to do is make sure first and foremost that you have to be subscribed to the channel. So if you haven't done that, please go ahead and subscribe. We want you to like the video and we want you to comment Mother's Day. On top of that, we want you to follow one of us, right? I don't care who you follow. Again, we all said our Instagrams. It's a plus if you already follow us, but go ahead and follow us and go ahead and share a story with us. And then also share our YouTube channel and our YouTube post as well. And then there will be deadlines. And again, if you want your mother to be on this show, you will enter that contest. Guys, you want your mother to be on this show on the 14th. We are willing to do that. All you have to do is enter that contest. All the instructions will be in the video, in the description. So don't worry if you guys are still confused. All the instructions on what to do, how to do it will be in the video. Any other comments from anybody?
Real quick, I don't know if you saw Grandmom, the one who makes the best rice in the world. She did comment She said she really enjoyed it. Be strong and give God all the glory and honor. Keep going forward. Love you all. So I did want to shout out Grandma because she was on and she was watching.
All right, thank you, Grandma, for watching. And again, to shout out our grandpa, who was our sponsor for this video. We appreciate you guys. And last but not least, if you own a company and you want to help us out on this mission of helping people get Mother's Day gifts for people, go ahead and you can DM me on Facebook at Sam Johnson or on Instagram at GetBuckets_Sam. We want more companies. We are trying to make this a mission to help you and to give you as many discounts as we can. And so for the codes, for all the codes, ladies and gentlemen, for all the codes, again, we partner with businesses. So if you want to, and I'll go back to the business real quick. I know we are getting ready to end this, but I just wanted to go back and revisit this so you guys will know what to do. Joe, you want to say hi to us?
Hi.
Okay, again, Miss Rodriguez, she's the CEO and founder of this beauty company, Besitos Beauty. And so, guys, let me get this code. And so she is giving 25% off of your total orders. So, guys, all you have to do is put in the code. Let me get that for you. Put in the code Johnson5 with the number 5 and no spaces. Capital letter J, Johnson5, no spaces, and that discount will be added to your total of a 25% discount. Guys, go ahead and do that. Again, if you want your hair done, or if you want like your mother's hair done to be done, again, we have Lisa Brown, auntie, shout out to you, love you, auntie. She is the owner of God's Creative Hands Hair Salon. The first 5 clients, new clients, will get $20 off, and the next 5 will get $10 off any hairstyle, $60 and up. That is a great deal. All you have to do is refer to our name, the Johnson 5. Again, their social media is down below. If you are still confused, you can contact me on Instagram and on Facebook. And last but not least, our mother, who is the co-founder of Riding, not co-founder, she is the founder and CEO of Riding Moves Me LLC, and she is giving out free shirts and candles. Her stuff is at the bottom. Again, her Instagram is Riding Moves Me with the number 2. Her Facebook is Carmen Gonzalez. If you want something, all you have to do again is refer us to Johnson 5 Talk Show. Elisa Brown, Facebook and Instagram is God's Creative Hands Hair Salon. So if you want to go ahead and try to do that, you can go ahead and contact her. And then Miss Rodriguez, Facebook is Bestos Beauty. And her TikTok is that as well. And so, guys, we are trying to help you and make this a mission for mothers. If we have any more companies, go ahead and contact me and we will add you to this list and we will try to do something for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. You had anything else to say?
I know, I was about to say wrap it up. Take it too long.
I know. We appreciate you guys for watching. Again, all the descriptions will be on this YouTube channel. This video, we will upload it in 10 minutes. So be aware of that. But we are getting ready to cut it off. Thank you guys so much for watching the Johnson 5 Talk Show. The next episode, I already told you guys, will be on Mother's Day. We are super excited for that. And we will have all 5 of our brothers on at that time. Thank you guys for watching. And we love you guys. And make us famous.